Hello, this is David with SurviveInPlace.com, and there's a few things that I want to share with you over the next few days that are really causing people to have an increased sense of urgency in their survival planning. And one of them is this chart from the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. You've probably seen it. And what it shows is that the money supply in the U.S. has absolutely shot through the roof. And since 2008, it's gone from just over 800 billion to almost 1.8 trillion dollars. In other words, it's more than doubled. And I know you hear about all these numbers in the news, but this chart really kind of drives home the point of what is happening. And if we look at an example of this happening in another country recently, we can see Argentina had basically the same thing in 2002. And in Argentina, within 12 months, they had 40 to 120% inflation. Now, they also had riots in some areas, they had shortages, and they had civil unrest in some areas. And I'm hoping that does not happen here, but it's simple enough to prepare for that it's worth being aware of. Now, while our money supply has been shooting through the roof, our GDP has been dropping. And anytime that you have more and more money going after fewer and fewer goods, you're going to have inflation. It's just the natural result. So, what can we do to prepare for this? We kind of can see a freight train coming down the tracks at us, and it would be nice not to get hit. One of the things that you can do that it sounds overly simplistic, but you want to have more of the things that you're currently using. And what I mean by that is food, batteries, toilet paper, just consumables, toiletries, anything that you use on a regular basis, you want to start buying more of. And this can be kind of daunting because you don't want to go to the store and buy 200 rolls of toilet paper, and that's fine. You don't need to. What you can do is make a systematic approach. And so, what you'll do is, let's say you use a can of beans. When you go to the store, instead of buying one can of beans to replace it, you buy two, you buy three, or you buy four, however much you can afford, however much makes sense. And you just start doing this over the coming weeks and months to whatever extent your budget will allow. And pretty soon you'll have a good stockpile of food and supplies. The great thing about this is these aren't survival rations. This is the food that you're used to. It's the stuff that you're used to. So you don't need to learn a new way to cook, a new way to prepare. There's nothing mysterious about this. So if nothing happens and you decide that you want to eat this stuff, you can. It's no big deal. There's no drama. The other thing I'm going to suggest is that you go on over to surviveinplace.com and take a look at the course description. It's a 12-week course on urban survival, and it is very applicable for anyone that lives in an urban area or outside of an urban area. In fact, we've had several students from small towns who have taken it who said it's just been absolutely incredible to them. We've got people who have retired from military and law enforcement who have said that this course has put together all of their years of training and has allowed them to share it with their family. And I'm very, very thankful for that. Some of the things that we cover in the course and some of the things that you'll learn are how to identify threats in your area. It's a systematic approach to it, so there's no mystery involved. Uh, Alternative power for your house. There's a lot of misinformation out there about solar and generators, and we cover all of that. Hardening your house, creating a safe room, field expedient medical care, flu pandemic strategies, whether or not it actually becomes a reality, minimizing robbery and looting, movement after a disaster, getting your family on board, and building a mutual aid team. Now, one of the things that we stress is that we want this to be applicable whether or not there is an actual disaster that you have to survive. This will help you in your life regardless of whether anything bad happens. And it's guaranteed. If you don't like it for any reason, you can get a full refund. So go on over to surviveinplace.com, and I look forward to you signing up. Thanks a lot, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.